Will the Formula One legend become just another faceless part of the Ferrari brand? Lewis Hamilton has the strongest personal identity that will conflict with the corporate brand of Scuderia for sure. And the question is, will Ferrari consume and assimilate Lewis, or will he make a 75-year-old brand change their essence? I guess I don't need this anymore. But before we jump to that, let's reveal the biggest ace Lewis Hamilton has been hiding up the sleeves of his stunning looks. In 2020, the Silver Arrows suddenly changed their signature color scheme for a completely new look. The reason is, the Mercedes team wanted to support Lewis Hamilton in his fight against racism caused by the BLM movement. And what Mercedes did here was something unprecedented, especially for such an old and renowned brand. It was not only about repainting the car in black and redesigning the racing suits, but it was mostly about manifesting the relationships between the corporate brand of the Mercedes F1 team and the personal brand of Lewis Hamilton.
I'm Lewis Hamilton and I race for Mercedes-Benz. Oh shit, what is it called? Oh yeah. You would think I know that by now.
Lewis Hamilton is the cornerstone of the Mercedes team branding, and that is why him leaving the team will have a huge impact. And I'm not even sure if Mercedes will be able to be whole again after that, but let's talk about that later. The personal brand of Lewis Hamilton was so strong that it influenced and dominated Mercedes to partially adopt his values, making Lewis an integral part of the Silver Arrows brand. And this purple color associated with Lewis's personality was used in Mercedes merch. And I genuinely wonder, will Ferrari do the same for him? Cause I freaking love purple. We are now witnessing a historic moment when the two giants collide, and there will only be one winner. And the conflict I mentioned before between Ferrari's corporate brand and Lewis's personal is already happening. And the reason is, they both have too much of a gravitas.
Formula One is synonymous with Ferrari, arguably one of the biggest brands in the world.
Normally, corporate and personal brands create a beautiful synergy, like Richard Branson's creative and energetic personality complements brand values of Virgin. Or, for instance, Anna Wintour is perfectly matched with the image of Vogue. But Ferrari has never seen a personality as big as Lewis's and has been only dominating everyone for years. As a luxury brand, Ferrari starts from a strong vision and passion. And to protect everything that makes the brand so iconic, they have to enforce strict rules. They cultivate an image of exclusivity and refined luxury by deliberately limiting the number of their customers. To facilitate this, Ferrari produces less cars than in existing demand, offers very limited customization options, and even sues their customers for breaking their rigorous rules. You know, Ferrari can put you on the blacklist for not accepting an invitation for a brand event. And to purchase certain models, you have to buy pre-owned vintage models first, which doesn't even guarantee you'll actually get the car. The point is, Ferrari brand has a huge ego, and considering that Enzo Ferrari once said, ask a child to draw a car and he will certainly paint it red, Rosa Corsa or Racing Red, the signature color of Ferrari, is not going anywhere regardless of Lewis's wishes. And it's not only about the style aspect of his car, although color in branding can translate a lot of meaning. Lewis Hamilton is known for the ostentatious looks he wears entering the paddock every racing weekend, and it is a major part of his identity. However, it is hard to imagine that Ferrari drivers are allowed to wear anything they want on the racing weekend due to the straight-laced brand guidelines. Lewis Hamilton, on the other hand, emphasizes the importance of self-expression as a cornerstone of his personal brand. And this issue resulted in a huge controversy when in 2022 FIA tightened the regulations and banned drivers from wearing jewelry and piercings while in the car due to safety regulations. But Lewis did not agree. I am willing to sign a waiver to take responsibility from them if necessary. It is about individuality and being who you are. As a sign of protest, he then appeared at the press conference for the Miami Grand Prix wearing multiple watches, rings, necklaces and earrings. Lewis was so dedicated to his right for self-expression that he called the FIA president and said, "It has never been a safety issue in the past. If they stop me, we have a spare driver."
The way I'm wired, I don't really have a filter. I say what's on my mind, and I'm not always too bothered about upsetting someone if it's gonna make a difference.
There are two quite strident identities and only one can subdue the other. That is why I am so worried about how this Lewis and Ferrari deal will work out. A luxury brand with such a rich heritage can't risk it all and dilute its identity for some driver. And considering the position Ferrari has as the OGs of the motorsport racing, I believe they will try to assert their dominance. Lewis risks to lose his unique identity and become just another cog in the system. But fighting against such a heavyweight brand identity, Lewis can actually use a trick from the luxury industry, like these guys did, and you will learn how to stand up to the corporation without losing your identity in just a minute. But first, look, I'm not trying to make Ferrari look like an evil corporation that destroys identity and gives these big brother vibes. But just take a look at Charles Leclerc. He is an ultimate Ferrari boy, an exemplary case of brand loyalty. Since childhood, he dreamt of racing for Ferrari. He went to their driver's academy, and he obviously drives a Ferrari and always wears red. His whole personal brand has emerged into Ferrari's image and depends on it heavily. That is why imagining Charles in some other team is as hard as accepting Lewis as a Ferrari driver. But Leclerc is kind of an opposite case of Lewis at Mercedes. While the Silver Arrows built their corporate brand around Lewis's personal, Charles based his personality on Ferrari's corporate brand. And here's how we can solve this paradox. This whole transfer situation and the conflict of personal and corporate brands are no strangers to the fashion world. Think of luxury brands like Dior, Chanel and Balenciaga that carry the family names of their original creators for decades. It is inevitable for them to change their creative leadership from time to time since their founders are no longer with us. And each creative director that comes to such a brand brings their unique personality, style, ideas, leaving the fingerprint on the brand's identity. But some creatives are more pliable. From 2012 to 2015, Raf Simons has been a creative director at Dior. And by looking at his first haute couture collection captured in the documentary Dior and I, you will never guess that this Prada collection was created by the same Raf Simons who was admiring femininity, spring and blossom. By the way, it is a pretty cool movie, so check it out if you want to learn about high fashion. Raf Simons 100% adopted his signature style for the brand's image and sourced his ideas from within the brand's heritage. On the other hand, we have Demna Gvasalia, who drastically changed the essence of original Balenciaga and made it a perfect memeable rage-bait brand, bringing his unique style. Cristobal Balenciaga was radical for his era, but still quite classy. Thus, Demna was able to secure the superiority of his individual vision over the brand's heritage. Another case would be Pharrell Williams, who brought the hip-hop aesthetic to Louis Vuitton last year. We were talking about injecting pop culture themes and Pharrell's individual style to an almost 200-year-old brand. And it gives us hope that Lewis Hamilton can do the same and won't lose himself at Ferrari after all. In summary, the conflict between individuality and corporate brand guidelines can be solved in many ways. The most upsetting would be losing your unique identity to the soulless corporation. But luckily, that is not the case for Lewis Hamilton. He has an acute need for self-expression and is ready to fight for it. But I believe there is still a possibility for a fruitful collaboration that finds synergy between the boldest personality of Lewis Hamilton and the greatest heritage of Ferrari.
I'll be damned if I'm going to win all these championships and have all this success and not use it to make change.
Thank you for watching this video. Share with me in the comments what are your thoughts on this transfer, and I can't wait to see how it actually works out. Don't forget to like and share this video if you learned something new today, and follow for more optimistic stories about your favorite brands.